Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we were working on, we have our yarn, our hook, our scissors, our needle, our water. We're working on our Granny's Square St. Patrick's Day coaster. Gorgeous! I know, right? Check it out. Beautiful. You will need, for this tutorial, an 8-ply cotton. It doesn't have to be Bendigo Woolen Mills, as long as it's an 8-ply, nice, solid, thick cotton, not a thin one, because your coaster will work out too small. You will need, obviously, a hook. Now, I used, in this one here, it calls for a 4mm hook. I used a 4.5 so that mine can be a lot thicker. Okay, you will need your scissors, you will need your sewing, darning, weaving needle, and you will need yourself, obviously. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I just wanted to show you one thing, and it doesn't matter which way someone throws your coaster, because we worked one side, turned, worked the other, turned, and so on and so on and so on. And so you can have your coaster sitting any way you like it to be. Okay? So there you go. I'm not going to talk anymore. We're just going to get started. Good luck, everyone. Alrighty, let's pop everything out the way. Okay. For the tutorial, you will need to know how to do chain stitches, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. All of those stitches I have links for in the description box down below. You'll also need to know how to do a treble stitch. I do not have a link for that, which I'm going to do in the future, but I will show you slowly in this tutorial anyway. It's not that difficult, all right? We also need to know how to do a quick slip knot. Doesn't take long. It's tail end over your finger once, tail end over your finger twice. Hold it there, pass your back loop halfway over, hold it there, pass the other loop all the way over, pop your hook in and give it a tug. Easy, yeah? All right. Now, we are going to chain up 4. Chain is yarn over hook, pull it through a loop on your hook. Yarn over hook, pull through loop 2. Yarn over hook, pull through loop 3. Yarn over hook, pull through loop 4. All right, that's your chain 4. You're now going to slip stitch in the very first chain that you made. Now that is passing 2 loops over your hook and 1 loop underneath your hook. All right, you pull a thread through your little slip stitch there. See that where my finger is right there? Those 2 nails are right there. You need to keep that open all the time for this next step, okay? So pull the loop through the other loop on your hook, okay? Now you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to do a double crochet. That's yarn over hook, pop it in that space that we were holding open, yarn over hook, pull up a loop. It should be 3 loops on your hook, yarn over hook, pull through the first 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. All right, so we're going to do it again. Yarn over hook, pop it in that space. I'm actually crocheting over my tail. Yarn over hook, pull up a loop. You don't need to if you find it awkward. Yarn over hook, pull through the first 2. Yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. Now your chains in this row and the next row will classify as a double crochet. So you've got 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Okay, now you're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to do another 3 double crochets in that center. I'm still crocheting over the thread. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to pick up speed, guys. I just wanted to show you nice and slowly for the first set, but I just want to pick up speed because otherwise this tutorial just, will blow out of proportion like the rest of mine. They just keep going, don't they? So there's your 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and 2. And yes, you have another set of 3 double crochets. These are called, in this series, they're called cluster set. So the first one cluster set, really. Okay. There you go, 3 double crochets. We're chaining 1 and 2 and 3 double crochets. 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Hold it there for a minute. What you should have is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. We're going to pass that thread, the tail, at the back now. All right, because we're going to weave that in later. Because we've crocheted over it once, we're going to weave it in twice later to make it 3 times. All right, now this part is a chain 1 only. Then we're going to do a single crochet, not a slip stitch, but a single crochet. So pass your hook through 2 threads on your hook and 1 underneath. Okay, so pull a loop through and you've got 2 threads on your hook, yarn over hook, pull through both threads on your hook. All right, so you've kind of formed that corner, but not, so to speak. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to chain 1. We are going to turn around. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to turn around. And then we are going to pop 2 double crochets in that center. I'm sorry, 2. So it's 1 and 2. All right. Easy, easy. So in this tutorial, we're turning around. This is going to help with the double-sided look. All right. So no matter where someone throws your coaster at you, you get your double-sided look. All right. There's no right side and there's no wrong side by turning it over like that. All right. So what we're going to do now, we are going to just jump into that very next corner with what I call a double cluster set. So that's 1 set of 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 2, and another set of 3 double crochets. So actually it's what I call 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in that corner, and you have formed your corner there. All right. The next thing we do is pop a double cluster set in that corner, and there we go. Off we go. Okay. Easy so far, isn't it, guys? To the newbies, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video and take your time and catch up when you're ready. Okay. To our regulars, if I'm not going fast enough, sorry. All right. So there's 2 and 3. Okay, we're going to do yet again 1 more corner before we hit the end of the row. So here we go. Double cluster set in that next corner. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and 2. 1, 2. Oops, that came undone. Sorry about that. And 3. Just lost my thread, that's all. Now, we already have half a cluster set in there, or half a double, I should say. Doesn't make sense, does it? 1 cluster set, how's that? We're going to pop another cluster set in there. Okay, so there's 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Now this is where we do our chain 1 and our single crochet in the top of our lovely tight stitch right there. All right, there you go. All right, now we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and this is where we are changing our granny square to the pattern. Okay, now with the pattern, it is a treble in the middle space. Okay, a treble is, usually we do yarn over hook for a double, just once. With a treble, we do it once and twice. So you've got 2 threads on your hook. We're going to pop your, make sure this is fairly tight up here, okay? We're going to pop your hook in the middle, right there, not in the corner, but in the middle. Yarn over hook. You should have 4 loops on your hook, by the way. Yarn over hook, pull through 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over hook, pull through another 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over hook, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. A little bit fiddly, but it works, okay? We're going to do it again. 2 loops on your hook, pop it in the space, yarn over hook, pull up a loop. You've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through another 2, and then yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. All right, so now we've done 2 trebles. All right, we're going to do it again as slowly as I can for you, just for the first few. And there's 3. 1 more. And there is, whoops, want to get it through, 4. All right, 1, 2. So we're going to put 12 altogether. So we've done 4. Take that down a little bit. We're going to put 12 altogether. We've done 4. Now that you know how to do the stitch, all you have to know is how many put in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over hook twice. Now we're going to do our 5th one. 1, 2. New crocheters. If you want to pause the camera here, you can, and then catch up with us later. 1, 2, 6. I think I did 5. We're about to find out. 7. We'll count it at the end anyway, so don't panic. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. We're going to count it now because I don't know whether I did one less or one more. It doesn't matter. That's what counting's for. All right. So how you count it? All right. That's where your stitch was. Okay. You usually count these little V's, but I find because they're so big, I find it easier to count the little stems now, the posts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I did 13, so let's just take one under. There you go. I did do that one extra. All right, so here, this is a part where you slip stitch into that center there, into that corner, I should say. So we're slip stitching. It's just a basic slip stitch like that, as you've been doing all along. All right, now give it a nice tug. Make sure that's nice and tight. Yarn over your hook twice. You're going to do exactly the same, except you're going to pop your stitches in the middle space on this side now. It's almost like we're doing a love heart, very similar to doing love hearts, granny square love hearts. If you've done them before, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, then this is the way to do them. All right. Oops, I didn't put it around twice. 1, 2, and this is the second one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pull up a loop. All right. Now you're going to count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, the reason you need to make sure you count is because if you make one little mistake in these long stems, in the long posts, it's going to put your whole coaster out of shape, all right, which I've done in the past. All right, again, speaking through experience. All right, so we slip stitch into our next corner, like so. Nice and tight. Chain 1. 1, 2 over your hook. We're going to do the same thing again in this space. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry guys, am I going too fast for you? I do apologize. 7. I'll slow it down a bit. Some of my newbies say to me, oh my gosh, Mary, you're going too fast. 8, 9, and then some of my regulars say, oh, You go so slow. Pick it up. Can't win. Okay, 9. Oh, I don't know if that was 9. Doesn't matter. We'll count it at the end, yeah? 10. I think I've messed up already. I'm doing well. Stop talking, Mary. 11. I'm pretty sure that's 12. It doesn't matter. If I do an extra one, I'll just take it undone. And 12. All right. We're going to count because, you know, I talk too much. All right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and let's take that 13th undone. Oh gosh, that'll teach me. Stop talking. All right, we're going to slip stitch into the next one. Okay, chain 1. Do you think I can make this row without talking? Let's try it. 1. Oh gosh. Oops. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. And guess what, guys? I did it without talking. Just the counting I did. Well, that's talking, I suppose. Let's count them again. Oh, gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, this is the best bit, guys. We count. We're all correct. And it might pay for you to have another look. Make sure you think everything is straight and perfect in every way, shape and form. All right. Closing up is, let me click nice close up so you can see. We're going to slip stitch in that space right there. We're not going to do it in our corner. We're going to do it in the space before the corner. It's actually the corner space of the previous round. So we're going to slip stitch in there like so. All right. Chain 1. This is going to have to be a loose chain. 1. Chain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we might actually do a 9th one to make the tail a little bit longer. 9. All right, we're going to put a single crochet in the first stitch you come to. 1. However, we're only doing the single crochets in the 1 loop. There. Not the 2. The 2 should be on the bottom and 1 up the top. So single crochet 2, single crochet 3, and in the next one we're going to put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Then the next one we're going to put 1. Now the reason we're putting that 2 is we're forming a little twist or a little bend. 1 in the next. 1 in the next. Now you can make your little tail here as long as you like, and 1 in the next. All right, so there's your single crochets. All right, we need to turn this around, okay, and we're going to slip stitch into the space of this set right here. So slip stitch into the space like so, and there you go. Chain 1. We're going to put a half double. Now this stitch right here, I'm trying to make space for it, is actually a stitch. So you're going to try and pop your half double in there. It's actually a tight stitch, but it's there. Now a half double is yarn over hook, pop your hook through those 2 stitches, you know, your little V's, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. All right, you're going to do the same in the next stitch, yarn over hook, pop it through your stitch, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and yet again in the next, and in the next, and so on. Okay, so this is the easy part of the tutorial. However, when you get to that middle section, like that little dip, we have to change the stitch. All right, just in the middle. All right, here we go. Nearly there. Nearly there. Okay, we've got one more stitch there before we get to the dip. So we'll do our half double, like so. All right, now if you're anything like me, you would have done that stitch really, really tight, which I can see it is. But we are going to do a slip stitch inside the slip stitch, not in there, but in the actual slip stitch, the one we made before. So I might have to just really push into this. There it is. I got it. So the slip stitch is there. You're putting a loop through like so, through that slip stitch and through the loop on your hook. Then you are going back to your half doubles in your stitches, all right? So half double in that very top stitch you come to right there, okay? Half double in there. And so on. A little bit awkward because we're doing the back of the loops. We usually work on that side, but because we're at the back, it kind of pulls backwards a little bit, but you've got to make sure you get the 2 loops on your hook when you do this, all right? Okay, time to pick up speed. We're nearly done, guys. We have one more row, but I have to change a few stitches in that row as well for it to all even out. You'll know when you see it what I mean. All right, 2, easy, yay. All right, we're nearly at the dip, or are we there? No, one more. And that's that last stitch there before the dip. There's your dip, there's your really, really tight stitch if you can get your hook in that tight stitch with a slip stitch. All good. Then you go back to doing your half doubles right in the very next stitch there. All right, easy, 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 easy. Okay, so this is the first of our St. Patrick's Day item that we're making. We will be making another one. I'm not going to tell you what that is until we get closer to it because I haven't perfected it yet. But we are doing a couple of them. So this is one, and we're going to do another one, and that's it. And we probably would also do another Easter bag as well, because we've done a bigger Easter bag. Now we're going to do a tiny Easter bag for one little egg. Okay? Or one egg, not so much one little egg. I don't think you can make it that small. All right, we've still got one more there. It's a bit loose, that stitch. You've got to be careful when you make the stitches a bit loose. Now there's that little slip stitch in the middle there. You're going to pop your hook in that stitch there, pull the thread through and pull it through the loop on your hook. Now we are going to half double across again, making sure you're getting that stitch right there. Don't jump over it because that's actually a stitch, okay? If I can get it. I'm telling you guys to do it and I can't get it. Oh gosh. Here we go. I think we're on our last curve here. We'll just keep going, keep going. Alrighty. Nearly there, nearly there. A couple more to go. There. And there. And now that's a slip stitch. We want to slip stitch back in there. It seems like a lot of space here. So we're just going to single crochet in that first little space. If you don't have that extra space, don't worry. I did. I don't know how, but I did. Maybe my loop was just too loose. Then we are going to slip stitch. All right, let's see if I can find the bottom of that. The bottom of that stitch right there. We're going to slip stitch into it. It's our very first stitch we did. Slip stitch in there. So what it's done is it's just joined it together. Okay. Now, this is a tricky bit. Now there's your row. Now remember the 2 loops we left on the hook the first time? We're going to pop our hook in the first loop, you see, and you are going to, well, pop a slip stitch in that loop, right? Then you're going to jump into the very next, and that's the 2 loops you see, all right, which is there. Pull a loop through with a slip stitch. You're going to do the same with the next. Looks like it's too far away, but it is there. Those 2 loops, pull a loop through, there you go. Next one, pop it through and pull it there. Same with your next. It's a very tricky part, this one, so you really have to get in and get those stitches. And there's one right there. That's a little smaller than the rest. You're going to pull that through. You still have a corner stitch. What you're going to do is just pop one in the corner there. All right. Then you're going to jump into that stitch right there with a slip stitch again. Now you are going to slip stitch into your normal single crochets that you did. That first one was a single crochet, and these are single crochets as well. Slip stitching all the way across. Okay, this is just not for anything. It makes the tail a bit thicker, but it just reinforces it, so it gives it a nice tight look about it, and it sort of bends it more to the side. I'm hoping this is helping. Now here we are going to pop a slip stitch somewhere, okay? So have a careful look. Your slip stitch will go into there, your very first stitch you come to. All right, now this is higher than this. So you are going to slip stitch across. It's just going to help you even it up. Slip 2, slip 3, and yes, we're slipping another one, 4. Now for the rest, we are going to do single crochets like that all the way across. Okay, too easy. All right, beautiful. Yes, we're at that dip. Oh, there's one more. Sorry, there is one more. Now we're going to jump over that slip stitch that we did there, jump into the next with a normal single crochet all the way around. Now ordinarily I would have put a slip stitch in there to make the curve more, but with the curve what happens is when you curve it, it kind of sticks up a little and you can't get it down. So I skip over that curved stitch. So even now as we speak, it's kind of a little bit lifted there. You can't see it's tugging, and when we bring it around to there, it might lift a little, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to skip that slip stitch altogether and just keep single crocheting until we get to the dip again. All right, nearly there. Okay, so we're going to skip that stitch, jump into the next single crochet and single crocheting across all the way. So you're actually skipping your slip stitch. Okay, nearly there. Best part is we are on a home stretch. Very cool, huh? All right, and there is our single crochet. This is our last row, guys. All right, there's your little dip right there. Okay, we're going to skip over that and do a single crochet in your next. I'm hoping you're able to see that. Later we'll flatten it all out. Whoops, skipped a stitch there. Later we'll flatten it all out and give it a good stretching. All right, and it'll sort itself out. Okay, we are on our last few stitches. Now, before you get to the end, when you get to the last, oh no, actually just keep going. Single crochet all the way over, because we've already slip stitched on the other side to make it look smaller. We want that looking smaller because it was a lot bigger. And the reason it was bigger is because we made our little tail there. So it came across a bit bigger than the rest of the project. There. Now what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch to the end, right? So we've made all our single crochets. See that spot right there? That's where you're going to slip stitch. Well, let me get a close up so you know where I'm going. Whoops, pull it through. See that space right there? You are going to slip stitch in that space right there. Yes. Then you're going to slip stitch into, okay, any space where the tail starts. I would say that nice tight stitch right there, but it's up to you where you want to slip stitch, as long as you're slip stitching to the tail. And what that's doing is it's pulling the tail over. Now we are going to pull a loop through like so, give it a cut, because my dears, you have finished. Now it's a little bit bubbly, you know, a little bit chunky. Oops, that's too far, sorry guys. But give it a good stretching. Ta-da! Give it a good stretching. Let's get that thread over there so it looks like we've weaved it in. Let's pretend like we've weaved in these threads for now. Pop that under there. I can't get it to say under. There we go. And there you go. Ta-da! So no matter which side you pop your little coaster, it looks gorgeous. Gorgeous! Yay! So we have now done our little coaster. Now what I need you to do quickly, just quickly, I'm going to show you how to weave in this end here, only because it's a little bit on the tricky side. Okay, now don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click all if you wish to receive further tutorials in your inbox. Okay, now this is where our little thread ended up. It's up to you how you want to weave this in, but this is my way of doing it. Doesn't mean it's a right way, just means it's another way. I find a stitch and I split the stitch in half and pull the thread, oops, and pull the thread through. All right, and what happens is that little knot disappears into the thread, okay? Then I come back the other way and crochet over it. Crochet, I meant sew. I've got crocheting on the brains now. Sewing, I did sewing for a long time when I was in my 20s, but I haven't done it for a while. And I tend to call it crochet all the time, as you do. Okay, pop it through another area, wherever you like. All right, just make sure no matter where you put it, it's not that visible, okay? It doesn't really matter because it's really thick here. It's not going to come out as long as you keep splitting that yarn, popping it through the thicknesses right there. Oh my gosh, that needle's not even going in. I'm fighting it to go in. That means this thread is not going anywhere. Trust me, not this one anyway. Maybe another one will, but this one's not going anywhere. All right. So we're going to give it a cut. Okay, there's the thread. If you give it a big tug, it hides inside those thicknesses so you don't see it. All right, that's that. Now, guys, don't forget tomorrow is History Friday. This is going to be a very interesting one, this one, because it is, you know, first Friday of the month, as you know. We're weaving in that last end, by the way. It is all of my history in crochet. So this way you see who it is that you are learning from, okay? And it's always good to know those things. Okay, give that a little tug, not too much, because you don't want to close up the space. This is kind of a granny square, and it doesn't need closing up. Now what you do is you go one way, then we've already crocheted over it once, we've sewn it in once. I'm going to run out of thread in a minute, but I'm trying to do it. We're going to go back the other way like that. And I'm going to pull it through in a minute because my thread's run out. There you go. Oh, my voice is going to go this week, guys. I've had a really rough voice and I don't know what I'm doing. It's all this talking, I think. Stop talking, shit, they're saying. All right, so there you go. Ta-da! Now, it might tug a little bit if you're really worried about it, because this one here I made 2 days ago, and after pulling it a few times, it doesn't tug anymore. But if you are really worried about it, soak it in some fabric softener or whatever you want to do. See how this towel's a little bit longer because this one was only 8 stitches. That one's 9. You can make it 8 stitches if you like, by the way. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Soak it in some fabric softener for about 10 or 15 minutes. Take it out, pin it down to a blocking board or even a tea towel. A tea towel, you could do tea towel, but not really. Even a towel for, even a bath towel, okay? Pin it down to a bath towel or a blocking board or whatever it is that you have. Come back in about 2 days' time and it will look as flat as that one. And that one hasn't even been pinned down, okay? That's all done. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share and all that jazz. And guess what, guys? Ciao for now.